Hi everyone, my name is Fabiana and I've been making videos and tutorials for you guys with the Sentro machine and also crochet bikinis and crochet swimwear. And today I'm gonna be making a very exciting project. Look at these guys. I made a vest with a round neck and I'm gonna be showing you today how you make the round neck, as you can see here, and also the how to make the arms here, because I had to decrease a few stitches, as you can see. I hope you can see it. And how do you make this ribbing without stitching, and all the ribbings they have no stitching. Okay, I put them straight from the needles to the from here to the needles, and it's quite easy and actually amazing how it works. I had to do a bit of research to make this vest, so it's a very special project for me because I didn't know if it could be done or not. Didn't really look on YouTube because I wanted to make my own thing, and as well, so there's a lot of things we're gonna learn on this project, and I hope you guys watch the video all the way to the end. Hit the subscribe, that like button for me, and leave me your comment because it's very important for me and I really appreciate it when you do. And so, yeah, we're gonna be learning a lot of things in this project. We're gonna be learning how to make the neck round to start with. We're gonna be making the decreasing here for the arms so they get the right shape. We're gonna be using needles on the bottom to make the ribbing, and as you can see, it's open here. Okay, so it fits a bit better, and circular needles here, so we have no stitching on any of these parts unless on the sides, of course. We're gonna be learning this stitching technique as well. As you can see, you can't really see the stitching, and we're gonna be learning this stitching as well here. So as you can see, it's hardly noticeable that there's stitching there. So to make this project, I'm gonna be using this yarn here. It's a Temply yarn. It's very soft and nice. So yeah, Temply, you're gonna need Temply yarn because otherwise it will be a bit smaller. And like for me, this I'm a C cup, and this was just perfect for me. A bit tight, but like I can wear it. It's okay. Can probably make small, so you can make small and medium. Okay, in the future I'm gonna be posting a vest pattern for large and extra large, etc. But I still haven't got there. I have a lot of things to do. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy this pattern, and let's get started. Okay guys, before we start making this vest, here it is, my drawing for it. We will be making a size medium today, but I'll let you know how it works for a small. And for other sizes than that, we actually have to make 2 panels to each side. So I'm gonna be making a tutorial about that soon. Okay, so what we're gonna need is, I have it here. We will need, and I already made the back part of it, which is here. And I used the 6mm needles for knitting. And I'm gonna be using a circular needle as well for the arms and for the neck. This is a long one, okay, you need it to be long, and this is 32 inches long, this part here. You need it that long just because you can fit more stitches in it. So to start here, let me see if you can actually see it. Yes. Hi. So I placed stitches from number 3 peg to the number 45. That's all we can get in this on the panel mode. We'll be working on the panel mode, okay? And don't worry about the back, because the front's gonna be exactly the same, and I'm gonna be explaining for you the difference. So we will be making 22 rows straight up. So after I casted all the stitches on, like I always do, one stitch on the front, one on the back of the pegs, I'll be making 22 rows. So I'm gonna make 22 rows here, and then we're gonna start this part here where it has some stitches decreased, so we can make this part of the arms here. So I ended up making 24 rows, and the measurement all the way to the end is going to be 20 centimeters from underneath your arm all the way down, with the ribbing after. Oh, it's really close. There you go. That's 20 centimeters, okay? So I made 24 rows here. So now I'm going to do that same decreasing I did a few times already, and that's gonna be on both sides, okay? So I'll be decreasing 4 stitches in one side and 4 stitches on the other side. So 4 stitches here, 4 stitches here, every 4 rows, okay? So to start making decreasing these stitches, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna crank it without yarn until the third pegs up. So 1, 2, 3. Make sure that stitch goes all the way down so it's out of the peg, and then you can make your way back. So I didn't used to do that, crank it back, but I just realized it's easier to remove the stitches when you're decreasing. So now all you're gonna do is with your crochet hook, it can be the one that came with the machine, you're gonna remove the 3 first stitches, okay? And this one's gonna be inside the peg, so it's not gonna come up, not gonna come out of the peg, which is good. And now here I'm going to remove this 3rd stitch from my hook. I'm going to crank it back so the pegs are up till the 3rd one. Okay, so it's up. And now I'm going to put the 2nd stitch back in the peg. And that's has to be the same way when you guys took it off. Okay, same with this one. See, it's facing that way. That's the way it has to go back in the hook. The same, so the 3rd one on top of the 2nd one. Put them both down there, and then put the 1st one in there, in the 1st peg. Now, so now I have 2 stitches on my 2nd peg, and now I'm ready to crank all the way to the other side, which I'm going to do now. Make sure both that stitches are down so they get made. And then I'm going to make all the way to the end, and on the beginning I decrease again. So you cannot, you always have to decrease on the beginning, you can't decrease at the end. So crank till you have 3 up, put that stitch right down there, and then crank it back. Okay, and then we crank it back. Make sure that 2 stitches are down there and they are gonna get made together, and that's the reason why we are decreasing, because 2 stitches are gonna be made together. So now we are going to make 2 rows, 1 the way there and back, and then we're gonna repeat the same thing 4 times. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to repeat the same thing here, and for 3 more times. Okay, so it's 4 stitches every. Start with the back part of this top, and that's how it's like now. Okay, so as you can see, it's short. Okay, because I wanted it to be short. So if you want longer, that's the time right now, before you even start decreasing stitches, that you have to make this longer. Okay, this is gonna be around here. So here, instead of 24 stitches, make a bit more if you want this longer. Okay, it's not even covering my belly. So I would say 20 more, 10 more rows, 15 more rows if you want it longer. This one here I made all the way from where I started decreasing underneath the arm to here, to the top here. It's 42 rows. Okay, so from where you started decreasing to here, 42 rows, and then you can cast off the stitches with the waist yarn. Okay, and then we're gonna do the front part now, which is gonna have the neck part. That's gonna be like this. So it's gonna be a bit different, but because the back one is straight here, I just went ahead and made it first. All the rest is the same. Okay, so repeat there, decrease 4 stitches on each side. Okay, decrease 4 stitches on each side, and then 42 rows. Okay, 42 rows is enough for a size medium and a size small. So now let me explain this part here. So we need a few more rows on the top here to join them both together and make the part for the shoulder. So we need a few more rows for that, and that's gonna be on the front, all on the front. Okay, because I'm gonna join them on the back. And then we need to start decreasing for the neckline as well. So I'm going to make, after I started decreasing, which is from here, I'm going to make 40 rows up. And then after 40 rows, I'm going to remove a few stitches in the middle here, and then remove slowly that way, so it's not a square, like a square neckline. Okay, so this has to be round. And then after that, I'm going to make a few more rows with just a few stitches on each side, so we can join that with the back. But if you're making the back right now, just make 42 rows all the way to the top, and then just remove all the stitches with your waist yarn, like I did here. Okay, the back is straight. Okay, just the front we are going to work this way. So I'm gonna finish making mine here, and then I'm gonna show you how to start the neck. Okay, so here I have my marker. I decreased 40 stitches every 4 rows from here to here, and now I have 40 rows all the way from here to here. And now I'm going to start working the round neck here on the top, because this is the front of my vest. So I'm gonna make the first 11 stitches. So I made 12 stitches from the beginning to the end here. Okay, and then I'm going to just put this in the middle here, and I'm gonna crank without yarn for 11. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 until the number 29, no yarn. So no yarn for 11 stitches, to go through 11 stitches and then remove them with the waste yarn. Okay, don't do what I did, it was a mistake. I'm losing stitches here, so I'm gonna use waste yarn here to start making my round neck. And then all the way to this one. Okay, make sure you put them all, you grab them all. From here to here we're gonna make the stitches again, and we're gonna be using another row of yarn. So we'll be working with 2 different rows of yarn because these 2 are not gonna connect. So gonna start here, just put this yarn here after this last needle, and we're just gonna start here with a new yarn so we can work both sides together. Okay, and then after you finish this part here, put the yarn on the side, and then we're gonna start working with this yarn on the other side. I know you might think this is a bit confusing, but it's the only way you can make a round neck on this using these machines. So put the yarn back here, and we are going to work all the way to the other side. Remove this yarn, we're gonna work with the other one. So this way we work both sides together at the same time, so we make sure we make them the same way. So now here what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start decreasing stitches as well. Okay, so I'm gonna decrease always on the beginning. So when I get here I'm gonna decrease as well. So I'm going to decrease now here. I'm to decrease, I'm gonna make until the 3rd needle. I have to decrease 3 stitches here and 3 stitches here. I want to have 8 when I finish with this, 8 or 9, it doesn't really matter. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 14. So you're gonna be finishing 3 stitches here. Okay, and now I'm going to do the same way we did before, actually same way we did before, and don't worry because we are going to finish this off much better with knitting later. So remove these 3 stitches and then put this hook up, the 2nd stitch on 1st, and 3rd stitch after, and then this stitch here. First stitch, make sure you pull it a bit so it's not too loose, so You don't have a lot of yarn to hide after, and then we can make this row here, all the way there and back. So I'm showing you this one here now, and then the rest of them you're gonna do yourself. So remove this, and then we're gonna decrease one stitch here as well. They have to be decreased at the same time, so the neck looks like the same on both sides. So 1, 2, 3, and back, remove that same thing, remove this first stitch, crank it so it's up, one more, then put it back here, put the third one on top of that second stitch, put the first one in. I know it seems a bit complicated, but it's much easier than make it by hand. Now I think we can give a little bit of space in between them, so I'm not gonna be decreasing now. We will be making just 2 rows. So we have I'm gonna be making 50 rows. It's a bit more than the other side, because the other side was straight. This one we're gonna make 8 or 10 more rows. That's gonna be the part on top of your shoulder, so that's why it's gonna be longer. So from here to the end we're gonna have 10 rows. So I have to actually start decreasing fast. Should probably have decreased already. So on the next row I'm gonna decrease again, and then I'm gonna decrease all the way until I finish. So you just repeat that, what we did. I'm not decreasing here now because I didn't decrease there. So every time you decrease here, you decrease here. So you're gonna have decrease 2 more on each side, okay? Hope that's clear, because it's not that easy, but once you get it, you know, it's easier. And so now I'm decreasing again here, making again, decreasing again. I'm going to decrease them all in one go. So when I have the 10 rows here, I decrease them all. So I'm going to do that here, you do that there, and then I'm going to remove all the stitches with another waste yarn for each side, and then we're gonna join both panels together. So I ended up making a few more rows, and that's what I have now. So I made 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 rows, because I didn't think it was gonna be enough. And I have 9 stitches here and 9 stitches here. So now the way to remove these stitches is the same way we normally do. We're just gonna make 1 row without yarn. After removing it, that's what I have now. As you can see, it's a round neck, and it's gonna be even more round when we finish with the ribbing part here. So we're gonna join this together on the wrong side, I guess. So first things first, let me see. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to make the ribbing on the bottom so they're both exactly the same. I'm going to finish now this part here with the ribbing, and I'm going to grab a needle. I'm going to use my 6mm crochet needles. So I'm using the rest of this yarn that I had left, but if you don't, if you're starting a new yarn, just make a knot here and start from there. And now we are going to make our ribbing. So I'm going to make 1 and 1, so 1 knit, 1 purl, 1 knit, 1 purl. I'm going to start here with 2, with a knit and a purl. Again, my stitches are not on the right side because of the way I removed from, I put back on the needles, but see, this loop has to be in the front of the other one for the purl anyway. So now I'm going to purl 1 and knit 1. Just going to purl and knit. Here I'm not doing anything at the moment, I'm just putting it back on the right way on the needle. So I'm just going to repeat that for a few rows. Now talking about needles, if you want to finish this and close straight away, you can use the circular needle, because then you close with the rows. You can use this circular needle as well, but because I'm gonna make it open here, that's the reason why I'm not using this one and I'm using this one. But if you only have this one and you want to make it close here on the bottom, you can use your circular needle as well. So I'll be doing that for 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 rows. So I have my 10 rows here, exactly like the other side. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the stitches, and so to do that you simply remove the first one. I'm gonna knit them all, so I'm not gonna purl at this point. I'm just gonna knit them all and remove. So I'm going to knit 1, put the needle inside the first stitch, put the second one through. Okay, so you're always gonna have one loop here, so knit that, put the hook through that first loop and pull it on top of the second one. And we're gonna repeat that all the way, making sure we have again big loops here so it's not tied, okay? Because this has to, you know, stretch like this, so it's the same size of all the rest of the vest. So I'm going to just remove all the stitches here, and then I'm going to stitch both sides together with the invisible stitch here on both sides just before the arms. And then I'm going to join the top as well, join the top here, join this part here with the back, and then, well, I'm gonna show you on the way. Now grab a tapestry needle with yarn to start stitching, and place markers right where you see here, this V is not going on anymore there. These two together means that I started decreasing stitches here, because see, this line of V's finishes here, kind of. So that's where I started decreasing. So I place a marker here and placed a marker here, so I know until where I have to stitch them together. So now on the back part of it, I don't want to stitch the ribbing. If you want to stitch the ribbing, you can start on the beginning. I'm going to start right after the ribbing here. Just put it anywhere really, the same spot on both sides. And then I'm just going to make a knot here so this doesn't open anymore, just like this. And then I'm going to stitch through the right side of my vest. So now that's fixed there. Just gonna put this yarn through this needle through here. It's coming from there, so I'm going to first put, it's a loop in between both V's, and that's where I'm going to be working with this stitch. See, there's two V's here, one and the other. I'm going to put the hook, the needle right there in the middle. And then to the next one side and then the other side. And then now, see, that's the stitching. I'm gonna pull it and then it's gonna close perfectly. So repeat that all the way, doing that all the way to until you reach these two markers, and then we're gonna join the top part here. So I have my vest here. This is the bottom, and this is one of the sleeves that I already made, and now we're making the other one. So to make this other one here, I'm going to grab my hook. I'm using the yarn that I have, the tail, plus I just made a knot there. To use the rest of it, I'm going to put the hook through the first loop and the second loop, and I'm going to remove them to make them all with crochet. And then I'm gonna close differently than what I did here, because as you can see here, it doesn't look really good. I'm going to stitch them together in a way that you can't really see that it's kind of an invisible knitting stitch. So I made this on both sides. You can either cut here or leave a longer tail so we can stitch both together here. So I already started to join the other side of the shoulder, and that's how it's looking like now. It's pretty good, I think. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna, if your yarn, I made a knot to start on the back, and if your yarn's on this side, you're gonna go to this side. So it's always working on the opposite side, and you're gonna go through this part here and this part here. Just grab the V, one of the V's in one side, put the hook through, pull it, and then you go to the other side, same thing, inside that V there. Make sure you grab always the same from the V's of the same row. Looks a bit worse on the back, but see, that's the back of this one. It looks a bit too thick. So if you prefer this one doesn't look that thick on the back, but it doesn't look that good on the front compared to this one. This one I closed just making single crochets with joining with single crochets on the back part I joined, and this one I joined on the front part. It looks better on the front, but I think it looks worse on the back. Anyway, it is what it is. That's the option, two options we have. And now I'm going to start making, I'm going to finish this tail here. I'm going to grab my hook and my circular needles, okay, 6 millimeters. And I'm going to start adding stitches around the whole hole for the arms here. So the way we're gonna do that is, first I'm going to use the hook to put through one of the it has to be the last one, okay, it has to be the last one. See, here there are the V's, one before, so it's on the first stitch. We're gonna grab like this, like if we were making crochet stitches, and then we're gonna have the hook, circular needle right there, ready to put the stitches on. So you hold it the best way you can. What we're gonna do is we're gonna pull one stitch every 2 rows. So oops, on the beginnings like that, and then it's easier after. So I'm gonna put the hook through, skip one row. Let me see if I skip one row here, and then on that second one just add a stitch, skip one, the next one, grab the stitch, always skipping one, grab the stitch, so I'm here, put the last stitch on. That's what I have now. And now what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go right here and pull this on, so on my needle to start working on the other side. And now I'm going to make my ribbing, the same ribbing I did on the bottom. You normally use the same one on the bottom and for the rest of the sweater if you're making one. And so I'm going to start here with a knit on the first stitch. It's ready to start already. And then I'm going to purl the second one. So the purl stitch has this little loop on the top. The knit has the V like we have here. So when you go all the way around, you need to do the purl on top of the purl and the knit on top of the knit, otherwise it's not gonna look like this. Okay, and so for this ribbing here, that's exactly the same of the other side. I'm making 6 rows. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, 6 row here for this ribbing. And when you close it, because we have enough stitches for the arm, you don't need to close as loose as we did here, because the way you're gonna cast off the stitches is the same way we cast them off here. So I'm not gonna explain again because there's no reason to. But so I'm making 6 rows here, and I'm going to start casting off right here in the middle, and that's where I started to put the stitches on, so it's on the same place. If you want to add a marker here, but it is where you have, you know, the middle of your vest here. And then I'm gonna show you straight after this how I'm going to make the neck. So just to finish it off, I have my last loop here, and I'm going to put the hook through my first stitch, my first finished stitch here. And I'm going to pull that loop through and pull the yarn through here. Then I'm gonna cut it and finish it off on the back. Okay, so now I'm going to add the circular needle on the neck. So I'm going to start on these stitches here. So I'm just gonna grab them one by one. So these are all my stitches. I can remove the waste yarn. As soon as I'm grabbing the stitches, I can just remove that waste yarn so it's not on our way. And now with another piece of yarn, I'm going to probably make a knot here. This way that stitch won't be loose there, won't be on this same one here. I'm going to just start grabbing the stitches. And if I need one more here, I can add later on the next row, if that's the case. So I'm going to start grabbing stitches right on that first row, exactly like I did before. So this way our neck's not gonna be too tight as well, and that's the reason why we had to make a few more rows like we did here, so we can actually put this vest through our head. Otherwise, if we just finish it off straight here, it's too small to put on the neck. If you already tried to make it, you probably know what I'm talking about. And this is the reason why we made this the neck like that. It is a bit harder, but you're gonna see the results gonna be like if you bought it at the shop. Make a knot here. I'll make a knot here with this tail, and then I'm going to add this tail at the end there on the other side, so I can, and then I can keep using it. So here now we can remove this waste yarn as well, because we have all the stitches on our needle. And then again, put right here on this first one, and then repeat that same thing again until you reach this first stitch here, and then we're gonna start the ribbing for the neck. At this stage here, you can just pull it off a bit more and try on your head, see if it fits, but if for me for sure fits, because it's pretty large, so it does fit. And here I think I'm pretty sure I'm going to add a stitch here while I'm making it, I'm gonna show you how to do it, but it's quite easy. It's just pull another, pull another loop in on the way. So I'll be repeating that for a few times. I'll probably make the same size of this one. Okay, you can make it folded if you want, and then just make double and stitch through the back. But I'm just gonna make single like that because this yarn is pretty thick already. And then I'm gonna come back and show you how it looks like, and I will try it on to see what it looks like on me. Just finish it off the same way we did before. So make 6 rows if you're making only 1 row. If you're folding it, probably around 12 rows, I would say. See, that's right here. Okay, so I think I'm missing 1 stitch here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a stitch this way. So what I did was I put the hook through here, and then I just pull the stitch. Okay, so I have 1 knit, 1 purl. This is gonna be a purl next time, next row, and that's gonna be a knit again. So then with the Sentro Machine 48 needles, that's the maximum size you can make, and I'm gonna put on the description below the length and the width, so you guys know. But fits a medium size person, which is me. I'm a medium, almost going to large because I surf and I have a back, peddler back. Anyway, guys, pretty happy with the result. As you can see, this is pretty nice round neck, and this here is awesome too. I'm really happy I'm actually stoked about it. Okay, fits really well on the arms, and I think for a small size it would fit as well. You probably use the same amount of stitches. Only thing you should do for a small is maybe decrease from 4 to 6 stitches here, but keep this on the same size as well. Keep this part with the same size and you should be fine. Okay, other than that, I thought at the end it was a little too short, so if you want to make longer here on the beginning, you probably can put a fair few rows. I would say probably 10, and then you're gonna have it a little longer. I think would look better, but other than that, looks really nice to me. And in the future I'll be teaching you guys how to make bigger vests than this one, and I'm thinking of making a checkered one, so that's my next project. But I hope you guys enjoyed. This was our project of the day. Pretty happy with it, and give me a like, subscribe to my channel, because I'm always posting patterns like this and different things you can make with your machine. And I'm really happy with your comments, so hit that button. Thank you.